This is Hira Tahir presenting a study on efficiency evaluation of the microgrid for selection of common bus. Conventionally, nuclear power plant and thermal power plants were used to generate power and supply electricity to the residential loads, commercial loads, and industrial loads at long distance transmission. However, due to the increased global warming and energy demand, resources that are environmentally friendly and cost-free are encouraged. Therefore, renewable energy resources such as wind, solar, and fuel cell are being used nowadays. These resources constitute a smaller grid that comprises renewable energy resources, energy storage system, and loads. Furthermore, they are connected to the utility grid. These microgrids are capable of generating, managing, and supplying local loads using renewable energy resources. Therefore, future power system is dominated by renewable energy based microgrids. Therefore, research on renewable energy based microgrid is a focus of attention for many researchers. Closer look of microgrid is shown in this figure where all the energy resources and loads are connected at the common bus through suitable conversion stages. In case of DC common bus, renewable energy resources, energy storage system, and DC load are connected via DC to DC converter, whereas utility grid and AC loads are connected through DC to AC converters. Nature of common bus defines the number of conversion stages inside the microgrid, therefore affecting the total power loss. Likewise, in case of AC common bus, all the energy resources are connected through suitable power conversion stages. Therefore, a feasibility analysis of common bus type is required at the early design stage to improve the system performance. Feasibility of common bus type is evaluated in this study in terms of efficiency of the microgrid. The method to evaluate the efficiency is presented here. The first step is to determine the percentage loading on all the converters. During the second step, efficiencies of the converters are evaluated using Kapula function based method. During the third step, power loss inside the microgrid is evaluated, followed by the efficiency of microgrid. Next step is to calculate the weighted average efficiency during all scenarios considered in this study. And then, based on the results, most feasible common bus type is selected. In this study, we have proposed a Kapula function-based method to model the efficiency curves of the converters. The first step is to determine the percentage loading. It is evaluated by using the flow chart on right side. There are three modes. First mode is idle mode when generation is equal to low demand. In this case, grid connected converter and energy storage converter are in idle state, whereas instantaneous load on all the converters is evaluated by using the power generation and load demand. During the excess power mode, generation is greater than load demand. The excess power is used to charge the energy storage system. However, if energy storage system is fully charged, the excess power is sent back to the utility grid. During deficit power mode, load demand is higher than generation. So in this case, energy storage systems are employed to supply the deficit power. However, if energy storage systems are completely depleted, then utility grid charges the ESS and supplies power to the loads. During the next step, the efficiencies of the converters are determined by using the Kapula function based method. The first step is to model the efficiency curve of the converter. Here efficiency is a function of percentage loading. The next step is to estimate the probability distribution functions for the percentage loading and efficiency of the converter using bootstrap parametric estimation. During the third phase, Kapula fitting is performed. Kapula fitting is considered in this study because it Cupolas are capable of characterizing the nonlinear and non-constant relationship between converters. The next step is to determine the power loss. Power loss inside the microgrid is sum of losses in all the converters and losses in the distribution line. Then efficiency of the microgrid is calculated by using the output power demand of the microgrid and power loss inside the microgrid. The next step is to calculate the weighted average efficiency for all scenarios. During the final step, the common bus with the highest weighted average efficiency in all case studies is selected as the most feasible common bus type. Since PV generation depends on the weather conditions, so we have considered 4 scenarios: cold and sunny, cold and cloudy, warm and humid, and hot and dry. Similarly, load demand is also a time dependent parameter, so we have considered weekend and weekdays load scenarios. And the microgrid specifications used in this study are shown in this table. The efficiency of microgrid is evaluated for all these scenarios. Results for efficiency evaluation for DC load only are shown in this figure for weekday load scenario in case of DC common bus and AC common bus. Similarly, for the weekend load, the results for efficiency evaluation are shown, as it can be seen that the efficiency varies depending upon the percentage loading on the converters for each scenario. Similarly, the results for efficiency evaluation for both DC and AC loads are shown in this figure for weekend load, for weekday load, and for weekend load scenarios. In this case, DC common bus efficiency is almost constant. However, AC common bus efficiency is improved a little bit. The efficiency of the microgrid for DC and AC common bus in case of DC load is calculated by using the weighted average function. For DC load, DC common bus efficiency is 79%, whereas for AC common bus it is around 70%. For both types of loads, the DC common bus efficiency is around 78%, whereas for AC common bus it is 72%. As it can be seen in this figure that the DC common bus has higher efficiency during all the scenarios. Therefore, DC common bus is the most feasible common bus type in this study. Moreover, DC common bus is more advantageous in case of DC loads only. For more information, please visit the recent advances in our laboratory homepage. Thank you.